Mga kabayan, sa umpisa pa lang ng pagdinig kahapon sa Senado, may matinding pasabog na agad itong si Senator Risa Hontiveros matapos ipakita ang isang dokumento na galing sa database ng NBI. Lumalabas sa dokumento na may kaparehong pangalan si Alice Go, kaparehas na birthday at ay pinanganak sa Banban Tarlac pero magkaiba ang mukha.
May Alice Leal Guo na nasa database ng NBI. Ito po ang Alice Guo na yon. Friends, I want you all to take a good hard look at this document. Same ang birthday sa birth certificate ni Alice Leal Guo na tumakbong mayor, July 12, 1986. Pareho ang spelling ng pangalan, pero ibang-iba ang mukha. Napakadami ko pong katanungan. Is it a coincidence na may dalawang Alice Leal Guo na pinanganak on July 12, 1986 sa Tarlac? Is it a coincidence that this NBI clearance was applied for just a few days before the date of filing of the delayed registration of birth of the other Alice Leal Guo in Tarlac City?
Dahil dito agad na pinagpaliwanag ni Hontiveros ang direktor ng NBI kaugnay sa kontrobersyal na dokumento na kanilang nadiscover. Sabi ng NBI, gagawa agad sila ng masusing investigasyon kaugnay dito at kailangang makuha nila ang fingerprint ng dalawang Alice Go.
Pero yung nakita ko lang, ma'am, yung itong sa right side ng clearance. Ewan ko, ma'am, kung si Mayor meron bang clearance na talagang yung pangalan niya at yung mukha ay dumikit dun sa clearance certificate. Presume natin na siya mismo, iyang nasa picture, iyan yung nagpunta sa office. So kung iyang Alice Go na yan, magkaiba naman kay Mayor, hindi natin alam kung yung pangalan niya ay parehas na parehas ang date. Ang mas maganda, ma-determine natin dahil yung fingerprint magkakaiba.
Samantala, ibinunyag din ni Hontiveros ang isang litrato ni Mayor Alice Go kasama ang ilang mga bigating personalidad at ang dating Pangulong Duterte. Dahil dito, iimbestigahan din ng Senado ang koneksyon ng mga dating opisyal ng gobyerno at ng suspendidong mayor na si Alice Go.
Ito naman po ang photo mula sa campaign niya kasama si Catherine Cassandra Leong o Cassie Lee, na authorized representative in Lucky 9 sa the 2025 elections. Mayor Alice certainly likes having friends in high places. Hindi po basta-basta ang mga kaibigan niya. Considering that this woman is now charged with qualified human trafficking, it is imperative that her links and networks are fully investigated.
Samantala, hindi naman sumipot sa pagdinig si Mayor Alice Go at ang tanging kanyang representative lang at mga abogado ang dumating, dala ang sulat ng suspendidong alkalde at ito ang kanyang mga rason.
Regrettably, I would like to most respectfully inform this honorable committee that I cannot attend and participate in the said hearing because I personally believe that I am not fit to appear as one of the resource person to the said inquiry. Truth be told, my exposure to prolonged stress and high level of anxiety owing to the concerning and malicious accusation thrown against me have adversely affected and caused serious impact on my physical and mental health.
Dahil dito, hindi tinanggap at hindi kinatigan ni Hontiveros ang mga rason at palusot nitong si Mayor Alice Go. Kaya sa huli, nag-order agad at nag-issue itong si Hontiveros ng sabina para dito kay Mayor Alice Go.
Hindi yan dahilan na hindi siya magpakita rito. So at the proper time, I will consider ordering the issuance of a subpoena to Mayor Alice Go.
Sa kasagsagan ng pagdinig, nagsanib pwersa naman ang ilang mga senador at muling nanawagan kay PBBM na iban na ang pogo sa buong bansa para hindi na paulit-ulit na may mga nangyayaring insidente at issue sa illegal na operasyon ng pogo na kung saan ay nadadawit at nagiging sangkot ang ilang politiko at pinagmumulan pa ng korupsyon.
Nais ko lang sabihin na ipinalabas nito na may korupsyon at nanganganak ng korupsyon at nasasama pa ang mga tao sa gobyerno dito. Please, we have to ban pogos. Iban na natin ang pogo dahil hindi natin sila kayang bantayan.
Parang hindi na ho tayo natututo dahil wala pang 6 na buwan, nagkaroon na ng pangalawang raid sa Porac naman. Yung nangyari sa Bamban, March of this year, 2024, nagkaroon ng malaking raid. At nananawagan din po ako sa ating mga kasamahan na suportahan itong pagban dahil hindi tatahimik ang ating bansang Pilipinas hanggat nandito sila dahil pumapasok sila, gumagawa ng hindi magaganda.
Nais ko lang pong malaman na yun nga po, na malaman na pag-akyat sa kapangyarihan ni Mayor Alice Go. Kaya nga po, hopefully we can invite the other persons, the former mayor who I understand siya po ang naging susi dahil po nag-last term ay itinulak si Alice Go na tumakbo bilang mayor dahil tatakbo po siya. So siguro siya po siguro itong Pogo operations really funded the campaign of both the former mayor and ito si Alice Go.
Ano ang masasabi mo dito, kabayan? Sama-sama nating panoorin ang buong video at pakikomment nyo po ang inyong mga reaksyon at sariling opinyon. Pero bago yan, muli po ako nag-iimbita sa mga hindi pa po nakasubscribe sa ating channel na Kabayan News PH, pakipindot po ang subscribe button at pakiclick na rin ang notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga bagong upload natin na legit at napapanahong balita. Maraming pong salamat.
Hindi sumipot ngayong araw sa pagdinig ng Senado ang suspendidong alkalde ng Bamban Tarlac na si Alice Guo. Ang alkalde may paliwanag kung bakit siya no-show sa pagdinig.
May Alice Leal Guo na nasa database ng NBI. Ito po ang Alice Guo na yon. Friends, I want you all to take a good hard look at this document. Same ang birthday sa birth certificate ni Alice Leal Guo na tumakbong mayor, July 12, 1986. Pareho ang spelling ng pangalan, pero ibang-iba ang mukha. Napakadami ko pong katanungan. Is it a coincidence na may dalawang Alice Leal Guo na pinanganak on July 12, 1986 sa Tarlac? Is it a coincidence that this NBI clearance was applied for just a few days before the date of filing of the delayed registration of birth of the other Alice Leal Guo in Tarlac City? Or is this a case of stolen napapahintulutan siyang mamalagi dito? Which leads us to our next question. How large and what is the nature of Alice Guo's networks? May ebidensya na tayong nakita na may link ang Bamban Pogo Hub to Clarkson Valley. Isang Pogo.
Pero yung nakita ko lang, ma'am, yung itong sa right side ng clearance. Ewan ko, ma'am, kung si Mayor, meron bang clearance na talagang yung pangalan niya at yung mukha ay dumikit dun sa clearance certificate. Presume natin na siya mismo, yung nasa picture, yan yung nagpunta sa office. So kung yung Alice Guo na yan, magkaiba naman kay Mayor, hindi natin alam kung yung pangalan niya ay parehas na parehas ang date. Ang mas maganda, ma-determine natin dahil yung fingerprint, magkaiba.
Mabagal lang po yung internet. Mas mabilis yata dun sa Pogo Hubs. Malalapit na kaibigan din ni Mayor ang mga ringleader ng Lucky 99 Pogo sa Porac. Ito naman po ang photo mula sa campaign niya kasama si Catherine Cassandra Leong o Cassie Lee na authorized representative in Lucky 9 sa the 2025 elections. Mayor Alice certainly likes having friends in high places. Hindi po basta-basta ang mga kaibigan niya. Considering that this woman is now charged with qualified human trafficking, it is imperative that her links and networks are fully investigated. I now wish to ask my colleagues if they have opening statements. Yes, Senator Grace, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I would like to thank our Chairperson, Senator Risa Hontiveros, for her firm and unwavering resolve to this fight to oust POGOs in the Philippines. It is true, we have seen more than enough. And this was started also by Senator Sherwin Gatchalian in the Senate. Kung inyong matatandaan, nang ibinahagi ko sa isang privileged speech ang tungkol sa mga POGO-related abductions noong 2022 pa, hindi pa uso noon ang mga raids. Ang meron lang tayo noon ay mga reports of kidnapping, accounts of assault, meron pang ako nakausap na personal na nag-report sa akin na siya ay na-abduct at sinaktan. Talagang sakit ng ulo itong mga POGOs. Meron mga legal POGOs, pero ang problema ay pinapaupahan nila ang kanilang mga matapos nating maipasa ang SIM Registration Act. Madam Chair, hindi na ako pupunta sa mga detalye sapagkat talagang very exhaustive ang iyong pag-iimbestiga dito. Nais ko lang sabihin na ipinalabas nito na may korupsyon at nanganganak ng korupsyon at nasasama pa ang mga tao sa gobyerno dito. Meron mga pag-uusap ng national security risk, pero wag natin ilihis ang pag-uusap sa kung ano ba talaga ang nanggagawa ng POGO. Kaya I reiterate my call together with our colleagues that have signed the resolution that has been proposed by Senator Gatchalian. Please, we have to ban POGOs. Iban na natin ang POGO dahil hindi natin sila kayang bantayan. Hindi napapakita natin na ang ating gobyerno ay nahihirapan dahil nga may mga protector sila. Pero kung may nagsabi na ban na ang POGOs, mas madali na natin matutunton. Pag may operation, hindi kayo pwede dyan. Ganun lang kasimple yon. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Parang hindi na ho tayo natututo dahil wala pang 6 na buwan, nagkaroon na ng pangalawang raid sa Porac naman. Yung nangyari sa Bamban, March of this year, 2024, nagkaroon ng malaking raid. Nakita natin kung gaano kalaki yung POGO Hub na ipinatayo sa Bamban. Nakita rin natin na merong nangyaring human trafficking, merong nangyaring torture, merong nangyaring prostitution. At nakita rin natin may elemento rin ngayon ng mga pagpepeke ng ating identity at pagpepeke ng nationality. Wala pang 6 months, in June of this year, may na-raid naman sa Porac. At itong pag-raid sa Porac, halos parehong-pareho sa nangyari sa Tarlac. Itong Lucky South 99, 2 beses na-raid to. Noong September 2022, na-raid na siya. May Porac, gumamit rin sila ng mga bogus companies na ang kanilang mga ating bansa dahil ito ang nabibigay daan sa mas marami pang kriminalidad, lalong-lalo na walang katahimikan na nangyayari sa ating bansa. At nananawagan din po ako sa ating mga kasamahan na suportahan itong pagban dahil hindi tatahimik ang ating bansang Pilipinas hanggat nandito sila dahil pumapasok sila, gumagawa ng hindi magaganda.
Nagkaroon po sila ng resolution denouncing the alleged conduct of online gambling and cybercrime operations sa barangay Anupul sa Bamban, declaring anti-illegal gambling policy of the provincial government of Tarlac. And it was reiterated, Madam Chair, by another panlalawig resolution of 2024, reiterate kailangan natin malaman yung naging history. Sayang po, wala siya. Siguro, if there would be another hearing, again, Madam Chair, I suggest we invite also the former mayor na mukhang siya po ang naging susi kung paano nakapasok si Alice Go bilang sa political scene ng Tarlac, lalo sa Bamban. Nais ko lang pong malaman na yun nga po, na malaman na pag-akyat sa kapangyarihan ni Mayor Alice Go. Kaya nga po, hopefully we can invite the other persons, the former mayor who I understand siya po ang naging susi dahil po nag-last term ay itinulak si Alice Go na tumakbo bilang mayor dahil tatakbo po siya. So siguro siya po siguro itong Pogo operations really funded the campaign of both the former mayor and ito si Alice Go. Kamakailan po, gaya na aking nabanggit, itiniwalag ng partido ng NPC si Mayor Go sa pamamagitan ng petisyon na inihain ni Governor Susan Yap. Ang lalawigan ng Tarlac ay isang tahimik, malinis at progresibong probinsya sa pangunguna ng masipag nitong gobernador, ang aming pong kapartido. Ang illegal na Pogo operation sa bayan ng Bamban ay nakakasira hindi lamang sa imaheng ito kundi pati na rin sa mapayapang pamumuhay ng mga mamamayan sa probinsya ng Tarlac. Ang operasyon ng mga Pogo sa bansa ay mayalang tulad na rin natin sa agresibong presensya at kilos ng mga Chinese sa West Philippine Sea. The presence of the Chinese Coast Guard and militia in our seas and the operation of Pogos on our lands have only caused chaos and social disorder in the country. These are failed attempts to tamper with the Filipino courage and spirit, but undeniably have already adversely affected our communities and fellow citizens. I believe that really we already have to hasten the phasing out of the Pogo industry. Huwag na po natin hintayin na may mahala na naman na mayor o iba pang opisyal ng gobyerno na magiging protektor sa illegal na operasyong ito. Kaya nga po sana huli na po si Alice Go na talagang kitang-kita mo, Madam Chair, na siya po ay pinatakbo upang pagtakpan o upang magsilbi sa interes ng Pogo operations sa Bamban. Kita natin sa buong Tarlac, wala hong Pogo operations except in the municipality of Bamban. Muli, maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
We invited, Your Honor, Ms. Guo Jiang Shong, Sheila Guo, Wesley Guo. These are the relatives of Mayor Guo. But the lawyer of the Guo acknowledged our letter, but they just replied that, the lawyer replied that he is not representing the other members of the family. Then
The lawyer replied that he's not representing the members of the family?
Yes.
The other members?
Yes. But,
This is the lawyer of Alice Guo.
Yes.
So why is he even writing the committee about them? At ano po yung grounds ni Alice Guo for not attending the hearing
Well,
sa kanyang sulat, Comsec?
Yes. And I read, this is the letter of explanation of Mayor Go. On 21 June 2024, I received an invitation, the public hearing dated 20 June 2024 from this honorable committee, inviting my presence as a resource person to the aforesaid public hearing scheduled on 26 June 2024 at 10 o'clock in the morning. Regrettably, I would like to most respectfully inform this honorable committee that I cannot attend and participate in the said hearing because I personally believe that I am not fit to appear as one of the resource person to the said inquiry. Truth be told, my exposure to prolonged stress and high level of anxiety owing to the concerning and malicious accusation thrown against me have adversely affected and caused serious impact on my physical and mental health. With all due
The mayor
respect,
believes she is not fit to be a resource person, but the committee obviously believes she is fit to be a resource person. Kaya natin inimbita siya ulit. Please proceed, Comsec.
with all due respect, as you may already know, I am placed under preventive suspension for 6 months by the Office of the Ombudsman, while the administrative charges filed against me are pending. Worse, our motion for reconsideration with motion to lift preventive suspension dated 10 June 2024 was denied, and in an order dated 18 June 2024. Second, several letters of authority were served to me and to my other legitimate businesses as the Bureau of Internal Revenue commenced their assessment. Third, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission has openly filed a criminal complaint against me, charging me with the non-bailable offense of qualified human trafficking. More importantly, I have been exposed to public ridicule, humiliation, and hatred for several months now, tarnishing my public image, character, and reputation. Unfortunately, I have already been prejudged guilty by the public despite the absence of any finding by the court of law and proper tribunals. In view of the foregoing, please accept my most sincere apologies for my absence and for any inconvenience this may have caused the committee. I would like to emphasize that I have no ill will or slightest intent to disrespect, disregard, or disobey this honorable committee. From Ms. Alice Go.
Thank you, Comsec. Unfortunately, the non-appearance of Mayor Alice Guo is a disregard of the invitation of the committee. At kahit may ongoing processes sa Office of the Ombudsman, sa BIR, sa PAOK, hindi yan dahilan na hindi siya magpakita rito. So at the proper time, I will consider ordering the issuance of a subpoena to Mayor Alice Guo. So let's go on now with the Board of Investments. We'll flash again, Yusek Rodolfo, the SIRV of Guo Huaping and the BOI letter to the BI dated 4th June 2024. Familiar po ba kayo sa mga dokumentong ito at pwede niyo po bang ipaliwanag sa amin ano po yung konteksto ng mga dokumentong ito?
Yes, Your Honor. Honorable Chair, honorable members of the committee, we actually received 3 requests on information related to this hearing. One is from Commissioner Norman Tansinco on a letter that he sent to our DTI Secretary Alfredo Pascual and the BOI Executive Director Bobby Fondevilla. This was dated June 3, inquiring on the complete details of the special investors resident visa application of one Guo Jianzong. And we replied, Your Honor, June 3, same date, but was received the day after by the Bureau of Immigration, informing the Bureau of Immigration that as per our records, the said foreign national and his dependents were previous holders of SIRV issued pursuant to provisions of Book 5 of Executive Order 226, otherwise known as the Omnibus Investment Code of 1987.
Thank you, Yusek. So, do you confirm the authenticity of these documents related to the SIRV of Guo Huaping?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Ano po yung requirements para sa SIRV application bukod sa maaring nabanggit nyo na kanina? And also, what about the dependents of an applicant? May requirements din po ba kaugnay nila?
Yung requirement, doon po sa principal applicant, nabanggit na natin yung mga documentary requirements, pero ang main requirement po is the $75,000 na investment in qualified targeted investments. Ito pong, pag sinabi natin qualified investment targets, this would be in shares of stock in corporations engaged in services, manufacturing, or in a publicly listed company. Dati ho pinapayagan natin yung pag-invest sa condominium units or in a trading enterprise, but since 2002, hindi na ho natin pinapayagan yung mga yon. Doon sa mga dependent ko, in addition to the documentary requirements that I mentioned, they have to be below 21 years old, which would explain ho, kung makikita ho natin doon sa birth date ni Guo Huaping, nung nag-apply ho sila, nung requested their SIRB to be canceled in 22 August 2011, lalagpas na ho siya sa 21 years old. Kaya siya we could surmise that that is the reason why they transferred to the Philippine Retirement Authority Special Resident Retirees Visa.
Salamat, Yusek. Oo, patatanungin din natin yung tungkol sa PRA mamaya. Pero dito pa rin sa SIRV ng BOI, required po ba ang personal appearance ng lahat ng aplikante? At may biometrics bang kinukuha ang BOI?
Opo, Madam Chair. The SIRB holders are required to physically report to the Board of Investments upon approval of their visas to have their pictures and biometrics, in particular signature and fingerprint captured. Para ho to kasi sa issuance ng kanilang SIRV ID. So kailangan po silang mag-physically to report in our offices. In our office, sorry.
And speaking of, kanina binabanggit nyo nga po yung thumbprints, no? Kababanggit nyo ulit ngayon. Normal po ba na yung isang ina, i-enter niya yung thumbprint niya para sa minor child niya? So, halimbawa, in the case of one of these documents, yung minor child, mga 9 years old, so hindi na po siya baby. At ipapakita po ako dito ulit. Ito po. Even to the naked eye, it looks like dun sa ano kanina, yung slide po na magkasama yung thumbprint ni Li Wenye at yung thumbprint ni Guo Haping. Mukhang magkapareho ang thumbprint nung Lin Wenye, yung ina, at yung Guo Haping na dependent daughter. So alam ko rin na yung NBI ay may biometrics ni Guo Haping, so not all is lost. Kaya lang dagdag na nakakalito. At dagdag pa, yung dalawang minor siblings nung Guo Haping dyan sa document na yan, sila naman hindi thumbprint. Okay, ito na muna. Yung magkatabing thumbprint ni Lin Wenye at ni Guo Huaping, parang magkapareho. I am not a fingerprint expert at all. So I was just showing it again, and sa inyo Yusek at sa lahat po nating nandirito sa hearing. So nakakalito nga. So pero bakit yung dalawa pang minor dependents, minor siblings ni Guo Huaping, hindi, well, I cannot ask you why, pero ninonote ko lang, sila, yung dalawa, hindi thumbprint nung ina. Ginamit nila yung sarili nilang thumb. So bakit kaya? At bakit kaya yung special effort para kay Alice? I'm of course presuming na yung Guo Huaping ay si Alice Guo din. Any insights, Yusek?
Madam Chair, sa proseso ho namin dapat, unless infant, pero dapat ho talaga yung, pati yung dependent, i-capture yung kanyang thumbprint. So, assumption of regularity po, on the processes undertaken in 2000, yung ina, yung principal, kinapture yung kanyang thumbprint. Tapos yung si Guo Huaping, kinapture din yung kanyang thumbprint. We're not competent to assess kung one and the same yung thumbprint na nakikita ho natin. But these are the thumbprints that we have on record, including dun sa dalawa pang dependent ho.
And of course, and fair enough po, Yusek. And of course, yung presumption of regularity is dun sa government agency na tumatanggap ng ganitong mga submissions or nagko-conduct ng ganitong mga procedures. So, dapat nga yung BOI. So, tapos, yes sir. Tapos, Yusek, kanina nakita nyo rin po yung passport ni Guo Huaping. Sa estimation nyo lamang po, bilang layperson, siya nga ba si Alice Guo? If you can offer an opinion.
Madam Chair, we're not the competent authority.
All right. Fair enough, muli, Yusek. Ano pong klaseng screening ang ginagawa sa applicants para masiguro na matitinong tao sila or on the level na tao sila sa process na to, na pinapayagang maging residente sa bansa natin?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sa BOI ho, once we endorse to the Bureau of Immigration, we also endorse ho to the NICA.
I apologize, Yusek. Please proceed.
Thank you. Madam Chair, pagka ho in-endorse namin sa Bureau of Immigration for the issuance of the visa, we also endorse so to the NICA. Tapos so si Bureau of Immigration also undertakes their own assessment.
So kumbaga mayroong cross-referencing or validation on the part ng NICA at saka BI.
May I also, Madam Chair, just for context ho, para alam din ng lahat. Ang number of active SIRB holders ho ng BOI, total ho, principal investors 1,224 at saka dependents 1,124. So ang total ho natin, and the earliest that we have on record, 1988. So cumulative na ho yan, lahat-lahat na ho. Since 1998 ay 2,348. Medyo konti lang ho, every year ho less than 100 yung ating na-issue na SIRB dahil medyo mahigpit nga po yung mga requirement natin. Thank you.
At mabuti kung mahigpit, probably in this case not mahigpit enough. And gaya ng na-observe nyo, hindi naman napakarami ang 2,000 higit. So dapat kaya nating mas siguruhin pa. So salamat po, Yusek.